Hello, Dr. Brammer. This is Rob Stone with Seven Figure Dentist. Just wanted to share a little bit of information with you and what we do for our dentists. In this video, I'm going to share a case study of one of our dentists that had been doing pretty decent, but we uncovered a lot of opportunity with digital marketing, and we've done some preliminary research that I want to share with you to show you that there's money being left on the table with your practice. I know you've only been doing this for a couple of years. Hopefully you've gotten some success, but I'd love to help you take it from good to great. Right now, we're looking at about $403,000 in profit being left on the table there with the search results in Norman and you not being in the right spots for that. So I want to show you what it looks like when we have a client that is doing well, and then with the reports that are attached will show you what your current situation looks like, and I'd love to have a conversation so that we can talk about the next steps. I want to share with you a little bit on why we're called a seven-figure dentist. The seven-figure dentist is built around the idea that every dentist has the potential to create seven figures. I know there's many dentists that have, but even those that do, there's money left on the table. I'm going to show you an example of what a report looks like that has a passing score, a fairly good score. It's not perfect, and there's no perfect score, so it really is hard to maintain perfection when it comes to such a moving target, like ranking well on Google, making sure you're engaging appropriately on social media. There's just so many different things. But if you can follow everything down to these 5 basic points, you can at least have some things to cross-reference and see what can you do better. And in this case, we were able to find some opportunities that Dr. Wallace, in his first full year of working with us, we found almost $500,000 in profits through just digital-focused efforts. There's more you can do beyond digital-focused efforts, but there's so much power with it because of the volume and the fact that people really need help. They ignore pain for whatever reasons, or maybe they finally say, you know what, I'd like to have the smile I've always wanted, and eventually the pain gets to be the point to where they just have to do something about it. And so they come to the internet, they search. And so the review is based on these 5 points. The first is going to be local search. Now, here are the ads. We'll cover that here in a bit, but the most important area that we've seen for dentists is this local search area. So, dentist in Edmond is the #1 searched phrase. There are a few others, and we try to rank for those as well, but I'll show you just this for our illustration purposes. But he's one of the top spots here in the map for that search phrase. He's got a very high rating as well as a high number of reviews. And if we were to click further in here, we'll see that these reviews have activity that's fairly recent. Maybe it's been within the last week, within the last couple months. We want to see consistent activity, and we want to see recent activity. And so that is extremely important. There's things that we do on our side as an agency for this ranking position, but there's also things that we integrate with the patients to make this happen. And so it's extremely important to have this set up. And you don't want all your reviews on one place either. We've seen reviews on tools like Demand Force, and it just doesn't work. Google doesn't respect it as a place for those reviews, and so Google's a good place, but then there's a few other directories that we make sure have review activity on them that Google takes a look at for ranking purposes as well. But this is where the majority of new patients will make their decision based on the reviews and finding you in these areas. The next biggest area that we have some tremendous success in is in social media. That's the next largest area. And so people tend to refer things like dentists word of mouth. And so with social media, we're letting that word of mouth essentially have far more legs because you can talk to so many more people through social media than you can on one-on-one interface. And so in this case, we'll take a look at his page. And again, it's not perfect. He does have good reviews on his page. He only has about 642 likes. Edmond has over 80,000 people living here, so it's a very small percentage of likes, and that's something that, sure, we always work on to increase. Making sure the type of content that's being posted is different. We don't want all of the same types of posts, so there's imagery. We have good review activity. We've got videos. I won't watch all this video here. But also the posts are relevant and they're current, so 18 hours ago. Next one, January 4th. Then we've got the 3rd, and then we've got December 30th. So it's not every day. Every area is going to be a little bit different depending on the demographics of your target audience. But in this case, Edmond is highly interactive. We're getting likes on the pages. We're getting some comments on different posts. So there is activity. We're getting activity, which is great. We've got people putting posts on the page asking questions, and they're responding to them. So all of this is great for social media. You have to be engaging here. You have to be relevant. You have to be on it. And so if you're not, this is a huge area where there's some missed opportunities. The next area that we talk about that has a high impact is SEO, search engine optimization. So again, here's the ads on search. Here's the local search. Right below that, this is what we call SEO, or organic search results. Within this, there's about 200 different pieces to the algorithm to satisfy Google's quest for finding a relevant answer. And so we research those key phrases to see what are people typing, and then we do the work to figure out what do we need to do to rank well. And so you can see is in that top spot. Something that we do, just one of many things, are things like blogs. Now, as a new customer, there's a lot of things that we do that may be a little more intensive, but with Mike, he's been with us for a while. We've got some decent ranking, and so we've got January, and we've got one in December, one in November, so about once a month. His staff will actually go in and write blogs on occasion too to supplement what we've got, but they don't feel as though they have to because we're keeping up with it. They can just focus on the things that are important. They're in the office to take care of and not trying to multitask marketing and taking care of dental clients. So we want to make sure that these things are happening. If you don't have new content on your website, it is a big factor for not being relevant. There's other pieces to SEO beyond just adding content. The way the website is built, what type of platform, making sure that you're being relevant to mobile audiences is important. There's just so many different pieces to it, and with the reports that we have for you, all of that's in there. And so we want to make sure you take a look and make sure there's things that if there are opportunities to fix it. You'd be surprised what it can do for you in the ranking. There's no silver bullet that's going to get it done, but everything working together makes those things happen. So that's the third area. The fourth area will be in the paid ads area. So this is what we call search engine marketing. And so on Google, it's search ads. And so right now we don't have any campaigns going for Wallace, so we don't have anything here. So if we were to score him, this area would have a 0. But he doesn't need it. It's okay. And you know what? You might not need it either. It just depends. There are some really good opportunities, and we do run some campaigns on occasion that hit hard for specific things that we know work well with the paid ads on Google. But even more so, Facebook has the opportunity for us to do some ads. And so most of our success when it comes to paying for ad space for dentistry has not been on Google more than it's been on Facebook. And Wallace isn't the only one that we've seen that trend. All of our dentists always see a little bit more success, actually in many cases much more success with Facebook advertising than with Google ads. And the reason being is we can jump in front of an audience, we can interrupt them, and we can target them very specifically for something that we know may be a good relevant answer for them. Over here, we're just hanging out waiting, hoping for someone to come along and click on one of our ads. There's a good chance that maybe even some of your competition is going through and clicking some of these ads too, and that costs. So social media ads is where I would suggest most of that effort be if there's not any advertising going online right now. The fifth area that we focus on is going to be mobile. And now mobile friendly on the website is good for search engine purposes, but it's also good for the user experience. If we've done all this work and we've got you ranked high here or here, and they click on that website button and it doesn't look good on a phone or a tablet, there's a pretty good chance they're going to hit that back button. Unless you just have some ridiculously great reviews here and they just decide to call you, you're probably going to lose that potential new patient. And so what I mean by being mobile friendly is if you notice this website, it looks decent here on my laptop, but as the content begins to shift to a smaller screen, everything else begins to shift as well. And we'll keep going until eventually the menu here is going to pop up over here. And so this is now our tablet view. And it will go in even further all the way down to a smartphone view. And so that makes sure that we are being relevant to the mobile users. They can still experience the same website. You don't have to update 2 different websites, your mobile and your regular. Therefore, the chances of you being relevant are a lot higher. Google likes it. And it's going to be a much better situation for you if we think mobile first to make sure that everything we do looks good on a phone and on a tablet. And so those are the big 5 points. A couple of extra bonuses. Things like video on the home page, extremely important. The longer someone sticks around on your website, the higher probability that they're going to choose you for the service. And so we want to give them something to stick around and watch. If you don't, they're going to look around and maybe click and read some of your technical mumbo-jumbo on some of your dental service pages, and then they're going to leave. And so in this case, there's no technical mumbo-jumbo in these videos. It's all down-to-earth stuff talking about the practice and what it means for them. See if they're a good fit. The other types of videos that have great impact are testimonial videos. It's one thing if you have good things to say about yourself. It's another when someone else does. So make sure you've got some testimonial videos here, and that's going to help you with trust with your patients. And with dentistry, trust is key. Any business, you have to have trust to do business, but it doesn't take much trust for me to want to try a hamburger. It takes a lot of trust if I'm going to let you in my mouth with sharp objects. It's a totally different scenario. So make sure that there's some stories here that people can relate to, that maybe someone was scared. Maybe someone wasn't sure what they were going to get, but they came out with great results and they're so glad they did it. And that story will sell to other patients. So video is important, good imagery is important, just making sure that you're staying relevant with design elements on the website so that the way that it looks matches what others are going to be trying to find. And at that point, you've got a lot of opportunity. And in this case, almost $500,000 in profits within our first year of working together, picking up that low-hanging fruit with just digital marketing. Now that you've seen what we've done for others, I want to do something for you. I want to be able to show you the same kind of experience. If you've got 30 minutes, I can show you a little bit more detail of what this would look like for you to become one of our 7-figure dentists. Reach out to me, give me a call, send me an email. I'd love to connect soon. Thanks so much.